occasion that we can develop this, and then we're gonna make really international virtual tour meeting forum. So I gonna develop this meeting, become international, and then with the principle like this. So this meeting and then this international forum, we have principle. First is educational, and then sharing, and then fun, and then benefit for the local people. So everybody can do this. I think in their country, in the regions, how to make virtual tour. So we can help to each other. So this is the aim, my idea. I initiate very hard. So Danny is my best co, and then really Ingrid support me, and Heiko in the beginning, and Otman. So this is my first collaborator. So I hope so we can continue this. It's not because of pandemic, and then not because of the COVID like this. So once again, the principle is educational, sharing, fun, and then friendship. Yeah. So I forget the last one. So this is very important. So we can continue our friendship, and then forever. So all over the world, So by the pandemic of COVID, so we can tighten more, become a friend. And then we can help to each other how to make tourism in your country. So we will help to each other. We will make like a class like this. How to learn a virtual tour. This is a little bit not easy sometimes, but we can do this together. Okay, and then the concept is like this. So as long as my my job has been 15 years as a volcanological guide. I've been in many volcanoes in Indonesia, and I know only this job. I love volcano very much, and then now I develop like wildlife, with my friend like with Tilman from Germany. And so this is first time I initiate this safari tours, to top 5 active volcanoes in Indonesia. And then virtual is virtual, of course it's not like real. And then please enjoy this, and then give feedback, because this is first time. So we need your feedback, but we're gonna do better and better, in different country like that. So we're gonna have 5 active volcanoes for journey, and then let's have a look from now that I would like to explain from the beginning. Yeah. So we have first we go to Krakatau. Yeah. So Krakatau is all of course it's very well known and very famous volcano that in recorded history, and then everybody want to see this, and especially you have been there or never been there, but people always want to see what is the change, what is development, everything. And then Krakatau is one of the highlight, and then that's why we use this for opening speech and for the opening of the programs. And the second, we are gonna go to the next volcano. This is called Merapi. So Merapi means via mountains. This is also one of the most active volcano in the world, and also the most active volcano in Indonesia because of the short historical of eruptions. So Merapi is quite amazing with the percussion flow, and then we're gonna make this kind of topic with thematic of percussion flow, and we develop more than. So don't forget to join with the Merapi. So because Merapi is quite famous, and then this is give a lot of benefit to local people, because of the eruption. So not always disaster, but also benefit. Okay, then next we go. Now we go, Danny. Now we go to also very also one of the. This is the highest volcano in Java. Yeah, this volcano is always glowing on the top. That's why we have topic, the glowing roof of Java, because this volcano there is always lava dome, in the crater, and then with continuously collapse, and then with some explosion, and then this can be seen even from Bromo, from Tenggal caldera. And this is one of the volcano that you must have fit condition to go up, but it's quite active also in the crater. It's amazing. And then next, Danny, let's go to the next volcano, which is also quite actually this is quite remote volcano. So now we go to Sulawesi. Okay, so we have volcano in North Sulawesi. This is in remote islands. And then how to go there is also complicated a little bit. You must go by ferry, and then you must go by very simple transport, and then you must. There is no way like like nice road something, nothing. If this is volcano active, and then we have to do something how to see this. This is difficult, and this is very nice volcanic islands. Also with with surroundings, hot spring everywhere, diving, and then also with snorkeling. So this is also don't miss this event. For the Karangetang special. And then also very, very famous with the, you know, Twin Peaks active in 2019. And then next, Denny, let's go to the last one. Yeah, to the last one of the 5 topic of volcanoes. Yeah, this is Dukono volcanoes. Yeah, this is quite far in Halmahera. Halmahera is in the North Molac. Yeah, so this is also one of the volcanic arc that, you know, in a subduction plate. And Dukono is one of the volcano that is always with now with the ash explosions, you know, from 1933. So this is also amazing volcano, and then don't miss this event. Yeah, so for the next, so we're gonna also make a safari journey to this volcano. Okay, Danny, thank you very much, yeah, to explain of this top 5 volcanoes.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Andy. Well, friends, we are now start to the first visit to Krakatau, Anak Krakatau, which is we are trying to make him believe that we are visiting there, and then Mr. Andy will be accompanied by Dr. Igan, and then will be give us some more information through the volcanological point of view. So thank you very much, Mr. Andy. Could you take from here? Yeah.
Yeah, we can start now. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Hang on. Yeah. Please, Mr. Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, now we have virtual volcano tours Indonesia. So yeah, we're gonna have overview first. So now here we can start from the West Coast, and then we're gonna have first overview. Yeah, and then here we start from the Cikoneng, so from Jakarta, and then we can drive 2 hours and then to these locations. And so we skip from Jakarta, and then this is yeah, before that you can see, Mr. Denny, yeah, is a lighthouse that was built in 1885 after the tsunami that destroyed the building of the lighthouse in 1883, and then rebuilt again in 1885 by the King William III during colonial. And then okay, after from lighthouse now. So this is we are now in observatory post of Krakatau. This is in Pasauran village. Yeah. So Pasauran is the name of village. So this is the photography, the documentation. So you can have a look inside, but you must get permission. Yeah, it's not allowed. Even I'm a guide to explain inside of this, because you must ask question, permission to the volcano observer. There are always 3, that maybe more 5 to walk inside. They have seat like that. They have like a seat for walking. And inside of the observatory post, you can have a look. There is seismograph, you know, for seismic station with analog or with digital seismic station like this. Yeah. So Krakatau is one of the most active volcanoes. So that's why the condition of the observatory post is quite active, and every day must have. Yeah. So you can go here like working hours, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Yeah. But actually they have to stand by 24 hours, you know, for monitoring the volcanoes, especially when it's active. Yeah, so this is the kind of seismic that this is after we can get explanation from Dr. Igan. And then after from our observatory post, then we go to Carita. Yeah. Now here, again, now we back to get this. Yeah. And then this is for overview. So in the left, that is actually the foundation and the ruins from the old lighthouse that was destroyed by the tsunami in 1883. So now this become a monument. So this is the monument, and then, you know, with foundation, and then with the ruin of the lighthouse. You know, this is the older house that actually was built in 1806, and then rebuilt again by King William III in 1885. Yeah. And then now we can see like this. So this is actually the coral reef that's quite super. So this is something that amazing, that the power of Krakatau, you know, this is, you know, brought out, you know, this is big coral actually, you know, below under the sea because of the power of the tsunami from the wave. So this is brought, you know, out the big coral like this. So you can imagine, you know, how was powerful the Krakatau. That's why at that time, you know, that killed, you know, 36,000 people, you know, along the west coast and in Sumatra. Now, this is picture of activity people in Carita. Yeah, this is the Carita people. You know, they have like a primary job. You know, fishermen, and then also farmers, but mostly also now for tourism. You know, so in the left here this is called a bamboo fishing house. It's quite also amazing. That's normally tourists, you know, ask about this. You know, Andy, what they're doing. So actually they put, you know, like net inside and then floating all the times, yeah. But in 2018, you know, all the fishing house, you know, just gone, yeah, just you know, struck by wave, then all gone, finished, yeah. And then they normally they put light in the night and then to attract the fish, and then yeah, and then they collect it like that, and then they put in the night, and then yeah, they feed it like that. That the bamboo house, yeah. Okay, so now yes. Yeah, now we gonna have overview to Krakatau complex. Yeah, before that, okay, let's start here. This is our starting point. Yeah, this is from Marina. This is we start from Carita. So Carita is the district. Yeah, with 4 villages. Yeah, that normally people start from Marina, from Carita to Krakatau. Yeah. And but also there is also the way, yeah, there is also the way to go to Carita from Lampung, from the south of Lampung, Sumatra province. Okay, now everybody, please get ready. Yeah, so like I told you before that, you know, you must bring everything. What should bring and not should bring, you know, so like a rain jacket, and then extra clothes, and then camera, and then everything that necessary. This is you must pack in the dry pack, you know, because you're gonna get splash and then you're in the water. Yeah. So now we are on the boat. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Mr. Danny can slowly down, and then okay. Now we can see this is before tsunami. So this is during June to November. Yeah, you can see the condition. You can see the condition of anak Krakatau. Yeah, so anak means child. Yeah, like that. Okay, now the boat is going. The boat is going. Yeah, and then in the left you can see this is the wall. Yeah, of this is called Rakata. Yeah, so this is Rakata Islands. Yeah, yeah, that's the overview of Krakatau. Yeah, so now we're gonna go to the. So now we see the complex of Krakatau, and then okay, now this is about the geological setting. So please, Dr. Igan, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now we crossed. We are after crossing to the Krakatau volcanic complex. We can see the maps, the geological maps here. So because the yellow, actually, the yellow one is the 1883 deposit, eruptive deposit, yeah. And then this is the new, the Anak Krakatau in the middle. This is the new volcano since 1929. The growth until now, and the growth continue until before the 2018. The height of the volcano is about 400 meters. It's quite fast to grow the volcano, and we give the information to the local government that this is the quite dangerous because the Krakatau is continue grow. Now here is the topography or volcanoes before 1883. There are three volcanoes there, and then this is Rakata, yeah, the left side. Rakata, Danan, and Perbuatan. grows together. Danan perbuatan about 200 meters something, and Danan is about 400 something, and then Rakata is 800 meters high. And then they grow, continue, and then they join one and each other. So Rakata, Danan, and Perbuatan join together, and then in about 11 kilometers cubic, the volume of 3 volcanoes, and then the eruption in 1883. So you look here in the map on the right. Yeah, this is the square. Yeah, square is the caldera of 1883, and leaping half of the Krakatau Island. And I try to map these volcanoes. But this is lava flows. You can see the lava flows. There are many flows going to the southwest, So this area, yeah, this area is very stuck layers of the lava flows. So we become very heavy in this area, and the east area is the mostly pyroclastic flow or fall. So this is a growth of the Anak Krakatau. This is continue. In 2009, this, the eruption continue until 2021. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, 2022. Nah, this is almost 10 years. Every day eruptions in Anak Krakatau. So it grows very fast. Yeah, I said 400 meters high. Yeah, like this, because the eruption like this, like Stromboli in Italy, continue eruption, and then the body high growth, and then yeah, this is every year the eruptions. And then you can see this is many blocks or pyroclastic and lava flows continue. Yeah, usually the eruption initiated by the phreatic and then magmatic eruptions, and throwing the bombs. The bombs is quite big. About from 5 meters wide, and erupted from the eruption source. About 300 meters. You can see this quite big. This is that's 500 meters from the eruption source. So this is at the time still hot, the bomb, and yeah, like breadcrust bomb, and then many kinds of the bomb, Kodang bombs, is many kinds of the bombs. This is yeah, very wide area, falls to wide area, and then this is more rapid increase the height of the volcano. Okay. Now we are cruising to the Sertung Islands. In Sertung Island, we can see the 1883 deposit. Yeah, that's in the northwest area. This is the wall of the ignimbrite, yeah, of the pyroclastic flows deposit from 1883. This is the old pumice deposit, and many kind of structure deposit there. Surge deposit, pyroclastic flow deposit, and also some hole in this wall. So we can disembark in the in the eastern part, and then we walk. It's about I think not more than 1 kilometer. I think 5 or 6 meters, 600 meters from the beach to the west beach. You can see this area, because in that in other islands, it's difficult to see the walls, because if we disembark in the south part of the Rakata, this is difficult because very high waves and very dangerous area in this area. So also in Panjang only in the exposure in the east area. So difficult because very high waves. So yeah, we recommended to see the exposure in the Sertung, in the northwest of Sertung. Also, that's sometime if the wave tide, this is also dangerous. Here is the 1883 deposit also from in Rakata. This is in Lagun Cabe. In Lagun Cabe, we can see the charcoal of the in the 1883 deposit. And in this area, this is good area for rest or camp. In this east part of the Rakata, this area is very comfortable for camp or rest, there pleasure in this area, in the Rakata, east part of Jakarta, about around here. And also we can see the little bit the exposure, because that's the forest area in surrounding the area. so very comfortable for rest, because this area is very safe for the waves. I think, yeah, for the waves, even waves from the west or from the east. This is a good area, and this is Anak Krakatau now. Before the eruption 2018, this is 400-meter high, and in January, December 2018, eruption is initiated by the avalanche, actually, because in the van there's a high force, high energy to force to the southwest area.
Yeah.
So some deposit there, mostly lava. Yeah, I said that. This is affected to the tsunami, because very high. What to 0.25 or 28 kilometers. Avalanche to the sea, and then push up the waves, and then become a tsunami to the western beach of the Banten area, mostly in the Tanjung Lesung, because Tanjung Lesung is the very, very high peninsula. It's very high peninsula to the area. This area. Now this is the crater, almost cycle, and you see the orange of the water, seawater, is because of the iron oxides. Iron oxides in the area is erupted to the sea, and because the lava flows is continue to become change the composition, change the features. So when the eruption occurred, the seawater become orange until now, because now the eruption also continue until now. So the last eruption is the and the eruption is very high. It's about 15 kilometers high. The last big eruption, January 2019. This is a big eruption. It's about I think more than 50 kilometers high, and affected the Panjang area. Panjang is by blast. Yeah, affected by blast. So all the vegetation there become dry. This is the eruption. This is April.
Yes, from April 2018.
April eruption, last
Yeah.
eruption. The
Yes, and also this is the latest videos, footage from Anak Krakatau.
yeah,
There's lava, so or they build up, and then also we have
lava flows, and there's the Anak Krakatau, and then the eruption. When we compare to the 1929, this is 1920, 33, yeah.
Yes.
The left, and the right side is just
This 20,
about
2020.
now
Yes.
of the Anak Krakatau. So this is quite similar. 33 and now.
The morphology is similar, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because this is the crater also connecting to the seawater, to the ocean, and also, but because continued eruption now blocked by the deposits.
Okay, this is the last footage, the last photographs during the June 2020.
The last is you can see the red area is the lava flows. I think that's the old lava flows, and then because of the eruption, but the eroded by the eruption, and then become exposure of the red like this, and become the orange color in the seawater. And yeah, this is the black is the pyroclastic falls, and the yeah, now is blocked by the deposit here, connecting from the crater to the ocean. After the eruption, in January, is still connecting from crater to the ocean.
Okay. Mr. Igan, Bapak Igan, is there any progress about the building up of the lava domes? This is like recently.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Is there any build up of the energy that will be blow up in the future?
Yeah.
Any higher explosive?
Yeah, I didn't see the closer of the lava flow. Okay. If this is lava flow, yeah, okay. Deposited around the crater rim, and the crater become higher, and the seawater not entering the crater.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Mr. Igan.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, because when I was there, you know, before tsunami, during June until December, I was there. So I like 5 times, and then also I met Danny, and then it was no lava flow like that. So I think it's very, very nice now, interesting. This is like debatable. So this is from lava flow or from like when you said it maybe like from moving, you know, from the old material, and then you know because of eroded by water, and then now become appear like this. So now it can be seen. And then what is the why the color is like that, like orange, and then you know like compared with the other material, deposit is different.
Yeah, this is from the lava flows material, because very high oxidized in lava flow. So the lava flow, the old lava flow is to that's to become the red color. So when the seawater come in through the lava flow, so they yellow, the orange color in the seawater after the tsunami, the big eruption to 2018. Yeah. So, is there any sharing of tsunami? This is the tsunami in December 2018. Because the tsunami is not so high, the wave is about 3 to 4 meters to the land, but that's the Charita area, along the western of the beach in Banten. In Banten, it's very flat, so high tide is very easy to become to the land. You see this picture. This is the area of Sunda Strait. You can see the very complicated fault in Sunda Strait. So the tsunami is not also from the volcano, but also from the fault or earthquakes to become the earthquakes and maybe followed by tsunami. Because I think they have the notes from the old events like this. You can see the very complicated the fault system in Sunda Strait, and the eruption. Why tsunami is suddenly become the beach in Banten? Because of the this is the avalanche of the because by the force by the energy, the high energy force. This is the you can see the seismograms here. Seismograms very high frequency, and this is overscale the waves. So not many people concerned about this event. So at the time, very difficult to decision what happened of tsunami in Sunda Strait. Because I always observe the Krakatau. This is the effect, because sometimes yeah, I calculated the volume of the volcano before 2018. The volume of the Anak Krakatau is about 7 kilometers, cubic kilometers. And before 1883, also 11. Just 2018 become the same volume. And yeah, maybe that's just guessing. But I calculated what the volume of the Anak Krakatau is 11 cubic kilometer. So you can imagine. I guess to the governor of Lampung, you can see the vast the volume, because a bit if I see from the geochemistry analysis, there's also continue go up in silica contents. Silica contents itu last analysis from the lava is about 61% of silica content. This is too high, but everybody not so concerned about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Bapak Igan, there's questions in the chat room.
Okay.
The first questions. Well, probably I have to ask Ms. Andi. Probably, do you have any something to add before I have to?
Yeah,
read
it's very interesting that from Dr. Igan. I like it very much. It's interesting that that from the diagram that's shown before, there is a diagram with a lateral blast of that caused tsunami. So, Mr. Igan, do you think is there any like also different effect from tsunami? Maybe is there like there is also submarine explosion? Maybe like happened also in 1883. So this is only the tsunami. This is only caused by the landslide, or there is also like push from the submarine explosion. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, actually, both. Because
Really,
those,
it's very nice.
but not submarine explosion. That's also from the fan of Anak Krakatau, but he moved to the southwest and pushing the body of the southwest, and the body of the southwest is mostly as lava flows, the layers of lava flows. So very heavy. That's it pushed by the energy of the eruption, and then causing landslide to the sea.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the detonation of the eruption is we cannot hear everybody in Carita, so they just pleasure or enjoy the the party in the beach.
Yeah. So
Cannot hear everything. The detonation of the Anak Krakatau. Yeah, because the eruption is to the north. The wind pushing the detonation to the north. So in the east areas didn't hear everything. But
so look like that. The material that had collapsed is like heavy material. So according to the image before that shown in the image that that there is lateral blast, and also I think because the material is quite heavy material, like you see Dr. Igan, is heavy material, maybe from the 1920 22 material.
I said, because I said that's lava flows.
Right.
The layering of lava flows. Yeah, as you see in my map in Anak Krakatau. So very big high energy to push the wave, to push the seawater to become a high wave tsunami. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Igan. Ms. Rani, there is some questions in the chat room, and probably I have to make permission to Ibu Elmi Hanum Harahap, because she is raising hand. Probably you can open the mic and then just passing the questions to Bapak Igan. Please, Ibu Elmi Hanum Harahap.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
yeah.
I would like, yeah, I would like to know that Sumatra and Java long time ago before Krakatau erupted was combined together. But anybody, can you tell me Sundaland? How big is that, and which island is consists in Sundaland? Thank you. That's all of my question.
Okay, thank you very much. Welmi. Please, Mr. Igan.
Yeah, if you say about Sundaland, Sundaland is actually, yeah, that's the South Asian, sorry, from Asia to Sumatra and Java, and then Kalimantan. That's the Sundaland because of the structure and moving of the tectonic movement. Yeah, that's become and then of the what melting of the ice also become seawater rise until now. So the Sumatra and Java become separate by the sea. That's Sundaland. Sundaland is the Southeast Asia, sorry, because we found any the old or I think the old rivers in the Java Sea. Okay.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Igan.
Yes. Because of moving tectonic, and then because moving of tectonic to right now, and following by the growing up the volcano, the tectonic moving. Okay.
Yes, thank you for your information.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Igan. Yeah, okay. Mr. Randi, asking about permission to reading the questions in the chat.
Yeah, please, yes. Yeah, we proceed.
Okay, there's a questions during the eruption during the plank collapse. This is from Mr. Diting from Tilman Diting. So tell me, Mr. Igan, is there any information about the volume of the avalanche? Have you any estimations? How many volume?
Yeah, at the time the volume is about 3 kilometer, 6 cubic kilometer, but the BMKG they calculated about 4.28 cubic kilometer. So this is I said, because he said that only the part of the southwest area to landslide. But I saw in the image, satellite image, that's moving. I calculated about 3 cubic kilometers landslide to the sea.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. And then there's another question from Maria. This is my favorite of geochemist from Costa Rica. There's two questions. The first question is, do you have any information about charcoal at or carbonized wood at the Rakata Island? And also, do you have any information about the fate of the people during the tsunami at the fishermen during around the Rakata Island?
You mean the people?
Yes, the people of the Rakata Island. Is there any casualties, or maybe people dies over there around Rakata, or maybe there's no fishermen around there?
Yeah, and about the charcoal, the age of the charcoal is 1883. This also, yeah, just
It's originally from
so
1883. Okay.
yeah, because in the inside of the 1883 deposit, the charcoal, yeah, must be, yeah. Of course, it's 1883, the age. But about the people, you said people around the Krakatau or before?
Yes, but the fisherman. Probably Maria, can you open the mic and then asking directly
Maria,
to
yes,
Mr. Igan,
please.
please?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the question is if you know how many people died around Krakatau Island because of the December 2018 tsunami. The other question is about the charcoal.
Yeah.
Yes, well, it is supposed that this tree was carbonized in 1883. But do you know if somebody did the radiocarbon dating in a laboratory? Is there any measurement?
Yeah. Yeah, we also we found from the old deposit by Professor Sigurdsson, Haraldur Sigurdsson also found the charcoal in the old deposit. I think, yeah, he got to I forgot, it's about 20,000 years old. But also I think he left that's the charcoal because many people said that the first caldera formation is about 416. 416. But the old, I think I didn't see he wrote about the charcoal, the Haraldur Sigurdsson. Because also in lower part of the Rakata Islands, we found also the old Parukasik flows. That's like ignimbrite, and also densely welded ignimbrite in the lower part of the Rakata, Panjang also. Yeah, we found that. But I just heard that Professor Haraldur got the charcoal from there, but I didn't heard or I didn't read I didn't read of the paper of about that charcoal. Yeah, but in 1883, yeah, many because before 1883, I said that the heavy forest in the Rakata Island, and also I heard that many people who the Rakata Island, but I just read about that. Okay, Mary.
Okay, Andy, do you have any information about how many people died at Rakata Island during the
in Rakata or 2018?
2018.
Yeah.
2018.
Oh,
Yeah,
2018 is about 500 something.
Yes, yeah, around 500 something.
Yeah. From Java and Sumatra area, about 500 something. About 1883 is about 36,000. That's also people from Sumatra and Java.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Yes, Mr. Ikan is correct. And then actually the tsunami also, hit and struck all the coastal coast in the west, and then along 250 kilometers like that. And then victims about like 500, something like that. Because I've been there first time after tsunami, and then we have team, and then we help local people, and then it was terrible. So like that. But it's so many.
Yeah, because the waves is moved to the Rakata Island first and hit the Rakata and curved to the Sumatra and to the Java Island.
Yeah.
First, this lateral to the Tanjung Lesung area. It's the first tsunami to the Tanjung Lesung Peninsula.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then other questions from Arianto Prakoso. Probably you can ask directly to Bapak Igan. Mr. Arianto Prakoso, can you open mic? Okay. Okay. Is there any Bapak Arianto Prakoso? Okay. I read the chat. There's two questions. From the first question, you said that the eruption of the Krakatau is initiated by first phreatic eruptions, then magmatic. Is that any same phenomena or eruption of volcano all over the world, or only in the special in the Krakatau?
Yeah, no. Actually, most of the volcanoes like that. First eruption is the phreatic, because even in Krakatau is very often eruption. It's always initiated by the phreatic, because there is also alteration by the geothermal area or hydrothermal area in beneath the crater. And the first eruption, and then following by the magmatic. Also in the long time repose of the volcanoes, also first eruption is also phreatic first, and then magmatic. Like Sinabung, also there's the first eruption is phreatic, and then stop 3 years, and then eruption, magmatic eruption. But Sinabung is stop eruption 3 years, and then after that magmatic. First eruption is always phreatic. Okay. Actually, to continue eruption with magmatic.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Bapak Igan, there is another question from Roy Pardede. The earlier in the photographs of after the eruptions or the avalanche of 2018, and then there is a color. The water is like orange.
Yes.
Yeah, color. And then it happened. It's not happened at before the eruptions. Why? Do you have any explanation?
Yeah, that's the orange. I said that the contamination from the lava flows, the old lava flows, because of the iron oxidation. Iron oxidation become the red color, and contamination with the seawater becomes orange like that, and also mixed with the sulfur or flour. That's become the orange area color.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. And then also this question goes to Frosina.
Frosina,
Yes, for Snovka, yeah. And then the question is, do you have any information about the subsurface structure? Or do you have any bathymetry reading about how big the magma chamber? Do you have any that informations?
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah.
Do you have any tomography survey or maybe something?
Yes, we have bathymetric map in the area because in the big eruption in 1883, they also two opinions about this eruption. I think this is between the Europe and Asia, Japan. Japan said that Europe and US said that collapse because there is the collapse within the caldera rim. But Japanese said that only occur atau only happen by the eruption, big material and pushing the seawater. So that tsunami is because of the big materials. But US said or Europe only following by collapse in the area. So there is the very deep area within the caldera. So yeah, that's I think my opinion. That's only yeah. I think yeah, that's the same because big about 80 about 8 cubic kilometers of materials and pushing to the seawater. Yeah, that's also will affect the tsunami. It's about 30 meters high in the Banten area and Lampung beach. And yeah, that's about the college. That only opinions. There is no detailed information about that. Yeah, yeah, that's the 1883. But 2018 just only landslide. There's no landslide affected by the pushing high energy.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, probably from the audience, from friends, probably Mr. Engku Mulugeta, do you want to have something to say to Bapak Igan? Is there any questions or maybe you want to add something?
Ingrid, yeah, also.
Yes, Mr. Engku Mulugeta, please. The speaker is not on. Please, the unmute first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks, Mr. Igan, for your deep explanation about the Krakatoa volcano. And I can have a good view about the area. And I'm just surprised how much it is active in this area. And the only question that I have, or I could have, is it a special ring of fire around the Krakatoa area? Because Krakatoa, as you said, the eruption is very often and it is ignited by phreatic eruption. Does it have any reason why Krakatoa is very special for its often phenomena? Why is that?
Yeah, because
Thank
it's very active, I think. Yeah. Anak Krakatau. Anak Krakatau is outside of the ring of fire, actually. Ring of fire is to the north, yeah, to Philippines, to Sulawesi. But Anak Krakatau mostly from the Mediterranean volcanoes. Yeah, from Italy, from Africa to Italy. But in Himalayas, they lost the loss of activity, of volcanic activity in Himalaya, because Himalaya is not a volcano. It's not volcano. But before India moved from Antarctic to cross the Asia, there is a volcano there from Italy, Saudi Arabia. There's volcano there, and then lost in the Himalayan area, and then come again in Thailand, and Sumatra, Krakatau, Jawa, until the Banda. Why Krakatau is very active? Because if I see the structure, geological structure there in Sunda side, it's very, very active. And Krakatau, because Krakatau is a alignment of the volcano from Sumatra, Rajabasa, Sebesi, Sebuku, until Panaitan. That is the line of alignment of the volcano. But Krakatau is very active because there's the conjunction between northeast pole and west. Eastern southwest and northwest southeast. That's it's conjunction in Krakatau. So become active the structure there, earthquakes. So many earthquake even in this area, in the Sunda side. And Krakatau is also very active. Because of the structure, geological structure in Sunda side. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you very much. Sufficient.
Okay, is there any? Okay, thank you very much for Maria. There is a 3D model of Krakatau volcano subsurface structure based on gravity data. The journal from Oimaya and De Santoso was from Bandung, was studied in the ITB, in the Bandung Technology Institute, from Applied Exploration Geophysics Research. So friends, you can to go to the chat, and then Maria is already gave us some point of view of the 3D model Krakatau according to the from Rosina, asking for a 3D model of Krakatau volcanoes. And then also from Mr. Aiko Bayer, probably do you have something to say to Bapak Igan? Or is there any questions? Please. Mr. Aiko? Okay.
First of all, thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for the good explanation of this area. I've never been there. I had never the chance to go there. But now I get a good overview about this area. Thank you very much. So far, I don't have any questions. But again, thank you very much for this good explanation.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe Ingrid, Danny.
Okay, please, Ingrid, open mic and then asking something to Bapak Igan. Will be something to say?
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Igan, for the really interesting explanation. I had the pleasure to go to Krakatau in 2015. It wasn't active, but I have been on top of the crater, so I'm really impressed with the huge change of topography. Like I was there when there was Anak Krakatau, and now everything is gone. Also, the orange red that you have in the water now reminds me of orange red that we have around Santorini. The more active parts of Santorini Island have the same iron-rich organisms that give the color. And as a geochemist, of course, I have one question. I don't know if people have been able to already sample some of the new magma, of the new lava, but if they have sampled it, is there like a significant geochemical difference between the lava that came out before and after the big tsunami eruption in 2018? Thank you.
Thank you very
Before 2018 or before 2018, the lava flows?
Yes,
Yeah.
is there any difference in the geochemistry of the lava before and after the recent big eruption?
Yeah, I only analyzed that the lava flows, all the lava flows, when the eruption and then lava flows coming down. I collected and I analyzed its lava flows. So that's why I said that before the eruption 2018, that's the silica contents about 61 something point something. It's yeah, only quite high. Because yeah, I make the graph from 1980 1930 eruption until 2018. The graph is, yeah, it's good. It's only yeah, I said maybe 10,000 per 1%. Yeah, increase. Yeah, that's a chemical analysis, because I just only the silica contents, because the eruption yeah, from the silica actually, because in 1883 this is about 68 percent silica content, and 2018 was 61 something. Yeah, that's
okay, Bapak Igan. This is the latest survey from Bapak Mirzam, Abraham Mirzam from IPB. He was a volcanologist too. This is tells you about the silica trace of the rare earth element, also the isotopes from 1883, and 1981 and 2002.
Yeah, 61 something. Yeah, the silica content.
The content is changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 61 something, and 2002 55.70. But 1883 is about 68, because it's the side composition. Yeah, I think like this. This is 2018, the first lava flow from 2018, about January or February, the 61.5. 1981 is about 57. Yeah, but it's okay. Maybe this is also collected from the lava flows in 2017 or 18.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, there's so thank you very much, Maria. I also share so many information. So also this is the latest information from Abraham Mirza. He was also a volcanologist, the leading volcanologist in Indonesia. Probably, is there any questions from from the others? From maybe Maria, do you want to ask something?
From Heiko.
Just a comment. I think because you said in the beginning, in the introduction of the forum, that there is about 40,000 registered tourist guides in Indonesia. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a large number of people bringing people to the volcanoes in Indonesia. So I think through the tour guides, there is a good opportunity to help, yeah, doing many different things. For example, I think perhaps you can organize among the group of these tourist guides to collect certain samples when they go to volcanoes that are difficult to access, or volcanoes that are not well known, yeah, because of they are very remote or they are dangerous. So perhaps the tour guides can collect some samples, water samples, ashes, rocks, charcoal, or whatever interesting they find. And perhaps we can find a way for these samples to be sent, to be shipped to different countries. Can help with the analysis of these samples and give the information to Indonesia, to the Volcanological and Geological Survey of Indonesia. I think this is a great job you can do together.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is
association.
Yeah.
Mr. Denny, maybe I can comment with Maria.
Yes, please.
With Maria questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
please.
Maria, it's a great question. So this is because I'm there is actually my chairman is Sang Pusubaya, but your question is very interesting. That's actually my job. I think maybe I'm one of the only guide that specialist in volcanology in volcano that collect kind of that sample. So I collect ash from fresh until that already oxidated, whatever like that. And then I collaborate with many universities like in Western, like in Australia, so I have like a link. Even I sell the ash. So I collect many samples from from Karangetang, for example. Karangetang is before I explain about one volcano in North Sulawesi. It's quite amazing volcano with effusive lava flow and it's amazing, volcanic, view, and then the hot spring, the outcrops, and then the effusive lava, and even now there is two crater active. There are two crater active. So I collect almost any rock, also ichneumbrite and then pumice, so everything, and then I have like a mini museum in my house, like that. So it's a good idea from you. So we have 14,000 members, but in our association is ITGA, Indonesian Tourist Guide Association. This is the biggest association in Indonesia, and also we are a member of the World Tourist Guide Association. But 14,000 is, I tell you now, is also difficult, to find a really volcanological guide that quite special. So we have so many kind of guide. It's like birding and classic guide like city tour and culture, and then now we also develop more special interest. But okay, Maria. So this is will be my task that I can ask because now also there is a association, mountain guide, but this is normally a trekking. So but we're gonna have special volcanological guide or geological guide like that. So I will ask like that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Maria. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. Mr. Rigan, is there any?
Okay.
Maria.
Yeah. I think for Maria, it's not easy to collect the sample for people from foreign country. It's not easy because if they collect it from the volcano, maybe in the airport, they will collect it again by the guard there. So many people from Europe or US, also Japan, it's they asked the letter of for bringing the sample to the out of the country of Indonesia. That's yeah. I many like that, but yeah, yeah, sometimes in Indonesia it's not so so complete the lab, the laboratory to analyze. So yeah, sometimes yeah, they brought to the foreign country by because of the study there.
Yeah, with special
They
permit.
take
Yes.
this sample from Indonesia and then they analyze there in the country there what they study there. Yeah, that's so. But for the chemistry, I think is okay. We can analyze in Indonesia. So I got the analyze some. I think many volcanoes of the sample from the volcanoes in Indonesia. Yeah, almost. I think almost all volcanoes, active volcanoes, I collected from the chemistry analysis.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I would like to ask Dr. Heriadi Rahmat. Bapak Heriadi, are you still with us? Bapak Heriadi? Oh. Bapak Heriadi is now okay. Okay, thank you very much. This is good point of view from Maria, and probably it possible, and then Ingrid says that probably they have some sort of workshop, maybe how to do the collect the sample, and then give us to the academy or maybe to the government through the observatory throughout Indonesia. I think so. Yeah, and then there's a good questions from Mr. Bayer, from Heiko Bayer. Probably Mr. Andi will be answer the questions about during the pandemic. Do we have any do we have any chance to go to have a opportunity to open the tourism industry in Indonesia, especially in the volcano, Mr. Andi? It's unmute. Please unmute first.
Yeah, sorry.
There you go.
Okay, now unmute already. I forgot it. Yeah. Okay, so I think question from Heiko, one question from the touristic point of view. If the lockdown is over, what is the opinion? Can tourism in the Krakatau area start again? So actually, Heiko, even now there are some tourists, like 2 days ago, I got the movie and then I give to Mr. Igan, to Dr. Igan and Danny for the latest, for the recent orange stuff, with lava. That's actually this is from 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, there is our local guide, is my friend, took that sample, that also that video, and also from Anak Krakatau, and then from here. So everything is depend on the the lockdown. I mean, now actually it's possible to go to Krakatau, because some people normally expatriate from Jakarta, so they can go to Krakatau. So the problem is only the flight, from international flight, yeah. So as long as you get permission, and then try to ask your local guide, and then everything must be in you get permit, whatever, and then so they can help you. So here there are also 2 local guides from Carita that normally organize to Krakatau. So I think the tourism to Carita will be open soon, like that, for sure. As now it's depending on the because the problem is Jakarta is as the capital city now. Still, there is local lockdown, so in Jakarta. So the problem is like that. So that people, domestic or foreigners who live in Jakarta already, that can go to Krakatau. So, but once again, you must make sure everything's before you go to Krakatau. So as long as your local guide, you can help. That's it.
Yeah, but from the per country to Jakarta. This is okay, no? Or not?
Yeah, not okay, Pak Igan. For the moment, it's not okay. So for the foreigner who live in Indonesia, who expatriate, yeah.
It's only in
Yes,
Jakarta.
already in Jakarta. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, to Krakatau.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And then is there any friends from here who want to ask something or maybe to add something? And then according to during the pandemic of COVID-19, and then we are start to open some touristic area, mostly in the volcanoes, and then they have some protocol, latest protocol. Is there any questions or maybe you want to add something? Probably from Bapak Santu Subaya, maybe you want to ask something about the industry, about in Indonesia?
It's interesting to the question from Maria. I think it's about our tour guide in Indonesia. Although we have 14,000 actually members, but most of them in Indonesia was developed based on cultural tourism and then explaining heritage, so inter-island. So that's true what Andy said, that for volcano to the tour guide, so very limited. So I hope this program encourages them to be a professional volcano tourist guide. As you know that our country has more than 100 active volcano in this archipelago. So I think it is quite nice for the future, quite perspective for the future for earning in these professions. So congratulations again to Andy, then because Andy sit in our board, because Indonesian Tourist Guide Association in local language HPI, so we pronounce HPI. So the only one who selected all the members. So fortunately, Andy is the volcano guide sitting in special interest. So to encourage all friends in all of our archipelago to be a tourist guide in volcano, and also because also we have vast rainforest for bird watching. So special interest covers many natural beauty, flora, fauna, etc., etc. So it's a task of Andy in the future in association. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Santu Surabaya. We have another guide who really expert or maybe specialized in for volcano tours. We have Mas Dasirun. Mas Dasirun, are you with us? Are you here, Mas Dasirun?
No, Denny. I'm just ordinary guide, just learning from Andy and learning from you and other common geology, volcanology. So I think Andy's better than me, more better than me. But maybe we can just share about another volcano. Maybe after 26, maybe I would like to share about Sangyang Api volcano, but I'm not so specialist like Andy. Gitu. Thank you very much, Denny. I think you are the also, but you still stay behind.
Okay, thank you very much, Mas Dasirun. Mas Dasirun was also the specialist in the volcano tourist guide. Well, Bapak Andi, is there something to add, or maybe from friends from not in from Jogja, from IC? There's friends from outside of Java, from Kalimantan. Is there any Kalimantan from not Maluku?
From Molakia, there is Faisal. Faisal
okay.
from Molakia.
Molakia, okay.
Molakia.
Please.
So, Faisal, can you come up? Yeah. From Ternate.
Yes, okay,
yeah.
Oh yeah, from Ternate, okay. Please, Faisal.
Well, honestly, I'm still new for the volcanologist things. I just being a guide from 2011, and I'm start to like hiking the mountain and the volcano. So still need to learn a lot about the volcanologist. That's why I'm waiting for Bung Andi to come so I can learn. directly from him.
Yeah.
Yes, I know he visited Dukono and other volcano in Halmahera though. That's why I'm really great to join this meeting. I feel really blessed for this meeting. Thank you for this meeting though.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faisal.
Yeah.
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 Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone to ask to Bapak Igan or to Andy or maybe something to ask? Mr. Angku, please. Yes. Unmute. Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me this chance. Just I would like to say that it is the best option to hold webinar or Zoom sessions to discuss past travel experiences and what to look forward to when the world open up for the travel again. It doesn't matter how long it takes for the world to open up, but positive anticipation is good always, and looking forward to the future is good thing for everyone. Finally, the only thing left to say is that during COVID-19 era, we cannot meet each other as you know it. Therefore, let us date online with Andy and his group to take us through the wilderness of volcano, nature, culture, and people around the world. This is what I want to say, and I'm very glad to participate in this session.
Thank you very much. It's very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
From Mr. Angku. Thank you very, very much. Andy, do you have any appreciation to Mr. Angku?
Yes. Oh yes, of course. So that's why like I said in the beginning, what is the aim of this event? It's not only because of virtual tour, but once again, this is for educational, for sharing, for fun, and then for friendship. So we're gonna make international meeting together. That we can move to different countries. For example, like to Costa Rica, we have Maria. We're gonna move to Ethiopia, and then there is a beautiful volcano that Ingrid has been there, Terte Ale, and also there is Dalol, the colorful craters like that. So I think it's everything is possible, Mr. Danny. Yeah.
Okay.
So once again like that, so educational, and then sharing, fun, and then friendship. This is we're gonna set up our international meetings like this. And then Danny, maybe I think very interesting that our tour guides here that following this program. So we can maybe play the video for the dike in the Rakata. I think so we can stop a little bit and then Dr. Igan can explain what is the dike, because normally, this is something interesting. If you allow me that you can repeat the video for the dike in Rakata before when we were in the boat, in the video. So if still any chance to see the dike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any video, Andy? From your video, from your side, video? Which video? Andy, which video? The Rakata?
Yeah, I think so. Oh wait. Okay.
Probably you have any video. Probably you want to share to us.
Yeah. I think before you show the photos, yeah, okay. I will try to share the video here. Wait.
Yeah.
Here, I think this is interesting. I think this is like for the tour guide in like this. Yeah. So here maybe. This is Dr. Igan. This is interesting actually because normally many of us, we don't know about this. So this is what is this, and then why why does this is formed like that? So this is the dike in Rakata, from the campsite and then before going back to Lekon Cabe and then to Carita. Yeah, please, Dr. Igan.
Yeah, that's why this is the proof of the Rakata is a volcano, Rakata, because we can see the many dike, and in the middle of the Rakata there's the fan, the big dike Yeah, I think this is the fence of the Rakata in yeah, left side.
Left side,
and
yeah.
in the summit, you can see the like domes in Rakata.
All right.
You can climb from the behind of the from the Lagoon Cabe. We can if you want to see the dome, yeah, that's right from Rakata. And at the time, this is a basaltic dike, but the bigger one is the andesitic dikes. Yeah, and you see the layers. This is the lowest part, lowest part. This is the I think the base of Rakata Island, because is that also pyroclastic but mixed with the sedimentary rocks. I think the erupted from the base of the Sunda Strait. Yeah, in Rakata, is in very low, the lowest part.
Yeah.
Many particles of the sediments there. Also metamorph rocks, and the upper part of in the middle, this is pyroclastic flows. Pyroclastic flows, and many times from the eruptions like this, and some the pyroclastic flow also welded. So
yeah,
very hard.
Mr. Igan, if you can see like this, the dike. So this is intrusion or extrusion, though. So how to explain, to our guests, intrusion or extrusion, like the dike?
Yeah, this is a dike. It's intrusion from the source, magma source. Intrusion. This is cut the layers. But we can see also some stills. Yeah, we can still is parallel to the layers. But that's cut the layers is the dike. This is intrusion, whole intrusion.
Intrusion, yeah. So it's still inside, right? Okay.
Yeah, intrusion.
That's
from
great.
The magma
then,
stores.
This is for you that guys that you never been to Krakatau. So maybe for you that if you want to make a traveling plan to Krakatau, so don't forget this spot, because it's very beautiful and very volcanological and geological site. So I think Master Igan. So if we see this kind of dike, so this is only that forming in the caldera collapse, and then we can see this, or like in the different volcanoes, or only when there is collapse of the caldera, and then because the magma emptied and then collapse, the outer wall collapse, and then after that we can see the remnant, the evidence of the dike. So this is only in the caldera volcano, or just also in another volcano?
Yeah, this is from the grow of the volcano at the time, because almost in this island, almost surrounding this island, many we can see the dikes like this, cutting all the layers. But some of the dikes also cut the dikes, another dikes.
Another dike, okay.
Yeah, you can see later in this wall, very complicated dikes. Yeah, that's this is the intrusion from the inside of the from the magma chamber to the cracks, yeah. It fills the crack, and then yeah, we call it intrusion. So this is a good point to see this area if you go to the Krakatau volcanic complex. And another one also in the bank, in the walls of the Panjang Islands, also in the south part of Panjang Island. You can see the ignimbrite, yeah, the welded top. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, this is
we call ignimbrite or welded top. This is the 1883 deposit, yeah, the white one. In the south part of the Panjang Island, when we come from Carita, the first we can see that exposure in south part of the Panjang Island. Yeah, this is in the south part.
So very interesting, Mr. Ikan. And then this is the last question, Mr. Ikan. I think now is the duration almost finished. Yeah, so it's very on time, 2 hours. And then this is the last question for me. So when we see this, in Panjang Islands, so a lot of trees that look like bone and dry. So the question is actually this is actually the from the percussive flow. This is caused by the percussive flow or by the shock flow, or by the asphalt that make all the trees like this dried, and then also some collapse of the wall in the wall of the Panjang. So what happened with the trees, Mr. Ikan?
Yeah, this is not from pyroclastic flow. This is by blast.
By blast.
Yeah,
very interesting. Yes.
Blast is only gas. They burn whole trees in Panjang Island because at the time very high explosion, and then blast to the Panjang area. Yeah, this is blast. Because if pyroclastic flow, there is also some deposit there, but no deposit in Panjang. No pyroclastic flow deposit.
Interesting. So the blast is still at hot temperature, isn't it, Mr. Ikan?
Yeah. This is blast because some of the trees there also lay down by because blast is very high energy. Jadi very different with the pyroclastic flow or surge. This is area that contact with the tsunami. Yeah, also blast to this area. This is the Rakata Island.
Yeah, Rakata. This is actually Rakata. Yes.
Attack this area, and then curving to that point to Sumatra area, and to here to right to Sumatra, to left to Java Island, because this opening craters to Rakata. That's why this is deposit of from lava flows, because they crushed by the eruption, so become we call it lavili or bomb volcanic.
Interesting, yes. So when we see like this, Mr. Ikan, so this is actually because of struck or hit by wave, or because this is in Rakata, that actually before this was campsite actually that collapsed. This is the wall, and then before this is campsite. And then so this is actually because of by the struck or hit by wave, or by also by blast.
Yeah, also wave and blast, because this is very strong push up, gitu kan. This is very strong to this part because of blast and pushing the seawater. So
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
Okay,
interesting.
thank you very much. And then, Mr. Randi, I will have to remind you that the times is almost finished, which is we have a 5 minutes left. So, friends, thank you very much for your attention, and then thank you very much for your support and for your interesting questions. And I think this is we are finally standing in the ending of our
Spiritual
meeting. Thank you very much. And then also thank you very much for everybody who have already joined, and thank you very much from Teami and then Mr. Heiko Bayer. Thank you very much, and then with Riana Rofik, Ibu Erina, and then Prosima Stoyanovska. Thank you very much also. And then Bapak Ahmad Rafi Muhammad, thank you very much. And also from Maria Martinez Cruz, thank you very much for your information and then share. It was very interesting. And also Dr. Tillman, from Germany, thank you very much. And also Mr. Engku, my friend. Also, thank you very much. And then you have a very wonderful. And then also from Otman Nayeb and then Ingrid, thank you very much for your information. And probably we will see again the next trip, because we have another trip throughout Indonesia, also talking about the volcanoes. Mr. Nadi, is there any last comment from this meeting before we finish?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much to Dr. Igan, to Danny. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the we're gonna end this meeting in the first time. So yeah, please give feedback. So yeah, how to develop this? Yeah, so we need your feedback, we need your advices, and then yeah. So this is the way that this is kind of a virtual tour in Volcano. But yeah, so always we will try to develop more like that. And once again, so please don't miss it. For the next volcano, Merapi, and then Semeru, and then Karangetang, and then Tukono. Yeah. So I hope that I will see you again. So looking forward for your participation, and then you can register again. So thank you very much to everybody here, and then yeah. So see you again. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Andi. Before we left, I need you to open all the videos, and I want to taking photographs together. Please open the videos, and then give us a big smile. Okay, everybody. 1, 2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Open the video.
Another window.
Cheers.
Yeah. Second window. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Smile, big smile. Okay, thank you.
International forum.
This is international forum. Okay, other one. Okay, the third window. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Mr. Andi, probably this is our end, and then thank you very much for the kindness of everybody, and then because this is the meeting is supported by our friends throughout the world, and then thank you very much. And then I cannot mention everybody here. Yeah. Thank you very much from Sangtu Subaya, from as the president of ITGA. Thank you very much. And then also friends from not Indonesia, from Jogja, from the outside, from Kalimantan.
From Julie from UK. Yeah.
From UK, thank you very much.
Don't forget. Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. Yeah, see you next time. See you next week.
Thank you,
yeah.
Mas Andi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and then see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.